We are ready? All right. We'll call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda, Jen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Delzer,
Here.
Commissioner Erickson,
Here.
Commissioner Waldner,
Here.
Commissioner Abraham,
Here.
Mayor Lindsay.
Here. Okay, approve the minutes of May 28th meeting.
You do have a revised set of minutes different than what is in your agenda packet. I simply neglected to list the bills for ratification and the investment
Okay,
in those other minutes.
so
Make a motion to approve the amended minutes.
do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have the agenda before us for the June 3rd meeting. Any additions or corrections? Do I have a motion
I'll
to?
move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay. Appearances. Now, I notice that we do have a 5:35, and we have Don Thompson on as number one. So, Don, do you want to go ahead and begin with us? Or do you want to speak more than for 5 minutes?
I can go either way.
Why don't we go
Okay.
down and do number 5 and 6, get those out of the way
Yeah.
quick in new business.
Okay.
Those are
We do have people here from out of town at 5:35, and that's why I was looking at the
Yep,
clock.
I think we can get 5 and 6 done and still be at 5:35.
Okay, if that's all right with you, Don, we'll do that.
That'll be done. Can I have more time?
All right, number 5, declare transformer surplus and authorize for their disposal, and they do have PCB oils in them, I was reading.
So they're not a moneymaker then.
So they're, yeah, they cost.
Yeah. So do we have a motion?
I'll
Yes.
move to declare the Transformers surplus.
Second?
Second.
Do we need appraisers on them since they're bad?
Since
No.
they're- okay.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Declare with surplus, dispose of them appropriately. Correct, David?
That's correct.
All right. Do you have a motion to approve?
Yeah, there's
A
Did,
second?
And second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 4 is bid number 811, set the bid date for the 3-phase pad mount distribution transformers
Why don't
and
we do number-
switchgear.
Let's do
Did
number,
you
s-
want-
do number 6, number the
You
personnel.
want to do number 6? All right,
Yeah.
personnel matters, and you have those attached. Is there a motion, first of all?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, motion to approve the personnel actions that are enclosed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, being that it is 5:35, we have a hearing on the application for the sale of alcoholic beverages. Transfer from Madison Discount Liquor to Thigh Till Enterprises LLC. And we do have people in the audience. Are there any questions of them, or do you have anything that you would like to present to the city? Okay,
And everything's in order, Jen?
Yes.
everything is in order?
I
All
make a-
right,
I
do we
make
have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome to Madison.
Welcome to Madison. Okay. Authorized mayor to, should we move back to number 1 now, and we'll have Don Thompson. Thank you for being patient.
That was fast. I'll slow you down just a little bit, though.
Okay.
Okay. I'm here representing the local emergency planning committee, subcommittee part of that one, I guess. I'm gonna have Chad jump in if I neglect to mention something here. But we sent out in your packets, the last 2 meeting minutes and stuff, so that you have an idea of where we were coming from, our decisions and stuff like that. What we're looking at is a couple of different projects that we're waiting for a response back from the Corps of Engineers. And we haven't heard anything back, even though we were looking at possibly seeing something here. We were hoping by the end of May is what we were looking for. But one of them was a Silver Jacket program, which would do a non-structural survey or study of the area. And that would have been 100% free type deal for us to do an assessment of the floodplain area within the city here, to get an accurate setting on where we were at with places that really need to be considered for either some kind of a buyout type program or something to help alleviate some of the flooding issues that we have for those certain times. The other part we were looking at is from the Corps of Engineers, Section 22 program, and that was basically a 50-50 match program, and that was gonna include an engineer flow study and a few other odds and ends. But we have no idea what the cost is gonna entail and exactly what they can actually do for us on this point. It's a case where we just have to wait and see on that. But since everybody's getting into the budgeting phase of the year, we figured it'd be a good time where we need to really kind of move forward a little bit and kind of set aside, hopefully, some funding and stuff like that to actually make this program work. I'll take this up with the county commission tomorrow, but what we're looking at right now is trying to at least get a engineer flow study or update the banner engineering study is what we're kind of looking at. Try to get that updated to a point where we know exactly where we need to go next. The assessment that we had for an estimate last year for the banner study was gonna be around $70,000 to $75,000 to be able to have that study done. So it's kind of a comprehensive deal, but it's definitely something that we need to go with to find out where the next step is for the program that we really need to do to mitigate some of these problems that we have. And the other part we're looking at is if the programs for the Corps of Engineers fail, would need to be at least one step ahead of them. So the funding that we're actually asking for to be set off to the side is just more of a reserve type deal. We may use it and may not use it. It'd be great if we didn't have to, but if it comes to that, we'd like to go forward with something like that, so. But if we wait for another year, it just puts us another year behind the ball as it does, so. What we're actually gonna try to do is we're looking at $20,000 from the city and then an additional $20,000 from the county to get started for at least the 2014. And then again, ask for a reserve set off to the side for the same amount for the year 2015. That way it'd be basically a total of $80,000 is what we're asking for on this whole thing from two different entities over the course of 2 years. So it's something that we figure that would be able to budget in there a little easier. That if the Corps of Engineer programs come through and work out well for it, we'll actually be able to eliminate the needs for that and actually be able to pay for possibly the 50% type deal. We just want to be able to be ready to be able to move forward instead of have to wait another year type deal for something to happen, so. I don't know if I've actually forgot anything. You could think of something, Chad?
No, I think you covered it very well, and in addition, the minutes that Deb Reineke wrote up from our last subcommittee meeting covered it very well, and I elaborated on them, and that's basically the discussion and the concept. I know the input that we've had from many is to keep moving forward, and so that was what the committee made as the recommendation to come forth.
I apologize, I know you said this. You're asking for 20,014 and what other year, this year or the follow?
For the 20-year, or the fiscal year 2014.
And then another 20
Yes.
the following year?
Right.
Following-
Okay, I just wanted
Yeah.
to make sure if it was this budget cycle.
And both from the city and the county for a total of 80.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Totally correct.
Don, did I understand, it seems like we had a presentation either from Don or somebody that the banner, that's the update of the banner study would be about 70 to 75, right?
That's correct.
The existing was done in, what, 90s?
96 on the study, so this would be,
The follow-up.
they provided a document that we brought forth back in June timeframe, I believe, of last year, and they had an alternate A for a revisit of the study, if you will, excluding the hydrology component, and then an alternate B, which would be the 70 to 75, would be a more comprehensive, and then, so, as the group was talking here, the subcommittee, they thought, what is a reasonable amount to ask for? What are we trying to do? And we thought this might be a reasonable target to look at that 75 number and account some for inflation and have those requests come forth. And as Don said, if the core programs come through and we still want to proceed on that, then those monies could be redirected towards that, and you know, if we don't go through the banner update. So that's the.
Well, once we get through the study, I'm sure it's not gonna tell us that we don't need to do anything and it'll cost us nothing, so, I mean, best case scenario is we get the studies paid for and we have seed money started for whatever projects we need to accomplish on the other side, so. I think it's a wise idea to start planning for this, because it's much easier to stomach doing it several years at a time than all at once halfway through a budget cycle, so.
Yeah, for you to be coming to us before we get into the middle of a budget or middle of the year is very helpful.
That's kind of the reason we wanted to try to get it out as soon as we could, so that we kind of plan a little bit further into it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So makes a big difference on that part, I know that, so. Because we know that one of the big parts or arguments that you might run into is a case where, if we get another 5 to 10 inch rain, will it make a difference? We don't know. That's why we really need the engineer study to find out just what kind of impact it would actually do to make things better for us and stuff. And it would at least help out with the idea that we can actually come up with an idea to at least reduce some of the effects from the whole flooding issue and stuff, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna stop it here in Madison. It's just not gonna happen. It will happen again. We just need to try to mitigate it and minimize it as much as possible. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, and I think a study like this is gonna help us pinpoint where the key areas are that we can fix and start working on.
Well, and the one thing that I noticed too when I was reading through that, and that is, years ago, we talked about putting in the one big retention dam. And in here, it looks at the possibility of, instead of one bigger one, maybe a series of smaller ones, to help slow down the water coming into town. We don't have a problem getting it into town, we have a problem getting it through and out of town.
Right.
And so, there's a lot more into it there rather than just, talking about it. And I appreciated that information being in there.
And that's part we were looking at it, because we don't know if the one dam or the series of dams would actually be a better solution. That's gonna be the biggest thing we don't know about. And that's where the engineer study would actually give us a little better idea of which way to go with something like that, so.
And hopefully these other programs, the Silver Jackets, and some of these will still come through for us, and then, I think, as Commissioner Dowser said, then maybe we can take this 20,000, use it for some seed money to start putting some of these bigger things into process and get them
And
moving.
even if they do, the programs do fail, or the applications that we have do fail for this year, there's always next year we can actually reapply for the similar projects.
Okay.
And maybe they'll actually earn enough merit at that point to actually be selected if they're rejected this time around, so.
Very good. I don't know that we need a motion on this, do we? Just,
You could make a motion to acknowledge, but it wouldn't be
yeah.
necessary. Certainly can.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'll make a motion to acknowledge the report from the LAPC committee and Don Thompson.
Okay,
Second.
okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Under new business, authorize mayor to sign declaration of encroachment easement. And I understand what this is, and I've taken a look at it, and Mr. Biersbach is here. So is there anyone that has any questions?
This is basically what, a plotted but not existing alley?
I think that's.
Yes.
Platted, but not
Not open.
Yeah,
utilized or
yeah.
improved.
There's trees and bushes in it. And on the west side, it does show, a curb cut. But in terms of utilization, what I saw in there when I drove by today, and that was the curb cut, and then a dumpster sits there because there's an apartment building that has a dumpster there. So what's currently there just makes it convenient for the garbage man to, utilize the large dumpster and empty it and put it back down again. So otherwise, it's lawn.
And this still allows us for any utilities we want to run or any of
Right.
our.
There's actually a few utilities in the part that's not encroached upon,
Okay.
and yeah, it will still allow for those to exist and be maintained.
Okay.
I did,
Al, did you have any questions or comments, or? No?
Not
No? Okay.
especially, everything's kinda down in writing there.
It is, yeah.
Does this allow at all for if 30 years down the road, if somebody totally rebuilds this garage for us to?
It
There's a
does.
provision.
It states right in there that if the garage is ever removed for whatever reason and that it would not be allowed to be put back in the same location.
Or destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We see a lot of these. I'm sure David sees them, I see them all the time. I'll move to authorize the mayor to sign the declaration of encroachment easement as presented.
Second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Authorize mayor to sign professional services agreement with SEH on the 4th Street Southeast Utilities Design, and this is a future project, if I'm understanding it right.
correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
The project is for the reconstruction of Fourth Street, which is in the STIF, our 5-year plan to be done with the state surface transportation funds. But then also, those funds don't cover the utility portion, and so this component is for their services to create the utility portion of the same set of plans, essentially. They're bid together with the state project, and then they're separated, and then we enter into an agreement with the contractor, and the state enters into an agreement with the contractor, but they're all constructed together. It's been a customary way that we've done this in the past. The state's portion of SEH's services is about $63,000, and this is about $21,000. So there's some economies of scale, I guess you could say, for, we're not
Doing
paying
it
for them to
together.
do the survey and such like that.
Mhm.
That's under the state project. And we've reviewed some of their projects they've worked on and work they've done, and talked to some of their previous clients, and are satisfied that they can do this work and do it well. So I would recommend that we proceed with the agreement.
Anyone has any questions? I know there was quite a bit of information provided.
I'd make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the professional services agreement with SEH for the 4th Street Southeast Utilities Design.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Bid number 811, set a bid date for the 3-phase pad mount distribution transformers and switch gear. And this is in relationship to the Global Polymer project, which is currently underway.
Dennis is
Any
here.
discussion? Dennis, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Basically, I guess we had DGR draw up the specs. They've been working with Global's electricians and stuff. So it's 3 transformers, and the switch is, like I said, it's a different switch than we've been using. One that will provide more protection for single phasing and stuff in their plant.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess right now what we're looking for is get the price quotes, see what the stuff's gonna cost.
Okay.
Then we'll need to get it ordered, get it here on time.
We've had this presented to us before. Does anybody have any other questions?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I've been talking with Dennis on this quite a bit with Global, because it's part of the normal industrial development cooperative effort that we usually do with new industries coming into town. And Dennis is continuing to negotiate. I think after we get the bids, we'll be able to see where we are with Global. Isn't that right, Dennis?
Because the switchgear was one thing we talked about before, or you talked about before.
I sent an email to Dan Pauly, I haven't got an answer back yet.
There's this, all the equipment is maybe a little above and beyond what we've normally done, so we're trying to get some participation with Global on that. Kind of keep our continuity as far as project to project.
Other questions?
I'll move to authorize the mayor to sign set the bid date
Set the bid date.
for the three-phase pad-mounted transformers and switchgear at
June 18th.
June 18th, what day of the week is it, whatever it is? June 18th at 1:30 at City Hall.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. And at this point in time, we are down to announcements and other business and motion to adjourn and move into executive session.
So moved.
Well, yeah, motion for executive session.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, we will now move into executive session.